Let's start. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, class. Happy to see you again. We have our brilliant teacher, Hatice and me here. And I would like you to guys to participate as much as you could. So, first of all, we would like to start give a short explanation. Our topic was feedback. So, feedback is very important in classroom, in teaching youngsters, kids, and teenagers. And it also should be feedback should be formative. For example, summative, positive, self-assessment type of feedback, and it can be also P2P feedback, and it can be in different ways. But overall, the feedback should be mostly positive and should change students' attitude towards learning, and also it should motivate them to study further, better and better. So now we will start our first activity with feedback, and how are we going to do this one? I will explain. When I'm reading some statements about feedback which you have learned already, you guys should show your cards. If this statement is always happens, you should show green one.
Green one.
Green one. And if it's not mostly used, and if it's sometimes you just show yellow. And if it's never, you should just show red one.
Red one.
Okay. This activity is called traffic lights.
What should you do?
We should show the stickers.
How we do this activity?
If you use it always, you should show green one. If it's sometimes, you should show yellow.
I can model if you want with Hatice. Do you want a model? I think about the kind of verbal feedback that I give my students. What are you gonna do? Okay. Good. Green one. Yellow. Always. It should work like that. Let me give some questions, some statements. If you follow, just show your green card. I think about the kind of verbal feedback that I give my students. I think, for example, I always think, or sometimes, or never. I think about the kind of verbal feedback that I give my students. Verbal feedback. You always think about it, or sometimes, or never?
Never.
Sure. Okay. Good. Second, I give feedback that relates to the learning intention and criteria for success agreed with the students. Okay, being one. Feedback focuses on a small number of targets at a time. What do you think? Feedback always focuses on a small number of targets at a time, or sometimes. Okay. And feedback specifies what students have achieved and what they need to do to improve. Okay. Students are encouraged to give feedback to each other. What do you think? They should give to each other feedback? Sometimes, always, never? Okay, sometimes. Good. Assessment techniques are used throughout the lesson to facilitate students in giving me feedback on how they are learning. Do you use these techniques? Yes, you always use it. I allow time for students to consider feedback that they receive from me and from their peers. Okay. Students are given a chance to make improvements to their work based on feedback. What do you think? Students should be always given a time or? Okay. My written feedback to students can be read and understood. Okay, always. You're right. Most of the case, you're right. Now you can start your next activity.
Okay, our next activity is about also feedback. It's according to the teachers, what the teacher should do and what the teacher shouldn't do while giving feedback. You have the stickers, there are different stickers, what you should do and what you shouldn't do. You should put it into do's and don'ts, okay? Here are the stickers.
You can check what we have done now by doing this activity. It's a kind of feedback again. It's not. It's a kind of summative feedback. So
Okay, what you should do? What you
We
should do?
should for this type of feedbacks and we should stick them into two.
do and don'ts. Yes.
Do's and don'ts, okay.
If you have,
Okay,
Yes.
so we start and do.
Use feedback that is unclear or difficult to understand. It's don'ts.
Start with positive feedback. While giving feedback, we should start with positive one. Yeah, it's
Do and
do's,
don't.
it's do's, and the second one, focus on facts. I think it's also do's, yeah? While giving feedback, we should focus on the facts.
Yes.
great job, excellent.
Use the same feedback for all students. I think it's do's.
Don'ts, yes.
Feedback should be authentic and balanced.
What do you think? Do and don't.
Feedback should be
Should be.
And give delayed feedback, I think don't, yeah? Am I right? Delayed, because
Yes,
Yes,
I think so. Let's go check out.
and use one very patient feedback. I think do.
It's only
Don't
patient feedback. Yeah.
be open-minded. Accept both positive and negative. Open-minded, I think.
If it's relaxed to both, you can put it in the middle. Yeah.
Acceptance. Should
Acceptance.
be acceptable? You mean? Pupils should use it to accept any kind of do's.
Thank you very much for your participation.
Would you like to check it or it's okay? Can
We
you
have
want to
checked
give
it
some
while
more
doing-
feedback about it for them as well?
No, while doing the, we have checked it. I think you have put them in order according to their verification. Okay, thank you very much for your participation. Our activities are over.
So, okay. That's it. That was an end of activity. So I think all of the participants have put in the right place. Okay.
If you have space on your phone, maybe you will take a picture and then you will
Dear participants, can I ask you to open in our Telegram group this page of book because we need it for our teaching before we start doing this. We need one for the pairs. We will work in pairs. It's 1